What's up, Subnautica fans? My name is Wumba Chumba, and I want to welcome you to Hour 2 of my hardcore Subnautica playthrough. The last episode was fantastic in terms of game progression. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. I was able to get the sea moth, all the cyclopes engine fragments, and more in around 40 minutes. If you haven't seen the last video, the way this series works is it's sort of like a video diary of my experience. I have a 1-hour session, and within this time frame, I aim to complete 3 goals that I set for myself before I start. The 3 goals for this video are as follows. Number 1 is to get a moonpool. Number 2, get a circular room. And number 3, get a vehicle upgrade console. But now I'm getting sick of making this intro, so let's hop in to hour number 2. Before loading in, I took some time to think about exactly what I needed to do. So once the timer started, I went straight to my sea moth to look for moonpool fragments. I mentioned in the last video that moonpool fragments are easiest to find in the mushroom forest. If you head to the south side of the map, just past the grassy plateau, it's not too difficult to find. This biome is not just great for finding the moonpool blueprint. You can also find a lot of shale for rare minerals and a lot of cyclops hull parts. I also stumbled across one of several alien vents that you can find across the map. While not exactly functional in terms of game mechanics, they are pretty cool, and I'll talk more about them as the story progresses. While exploring, I managed to find the third and final modification station fragment. This is a good blueprint to have, though I don't plan on making one in this video. And after only a few minutes of exploring, I found the first of 2 moonpool fragments that I will need. And there is the second. Now that I have the blueprint for the moonpool, I could head back to base, but I wanted to stick around for a little bit to finish up the cyclops hull fragments. Before I got back to the life pod, I decided to pin the recipe for the moonpool in the upgrade console. I also figured it would be better to gather the materials from my base on the way back rather than wasting time. I didn't show the collection of materials last time, but I figured I would now because there is a method to the madness. In general, the deeper into the ocean you go, the better loot you can get. Scrap is also the best way to get titanium. Seasoned players will likely know this, but I know if there are new players watching, it would be good to hear. Also, while I was out, the aurora exploded. I stopped to watch for just a minute, but I needed to be efficient with my limited time, so I got on the move. The moonpool is super expensive to make. It's 2 titanium ingots, which adds up to about 20 titanium pieces. This is why you want to use scrap metal. I thought I had everything I needed, but I actually forgot lubricant, one of the easiest materials to find. So I quickly left the life pod and ran over to the nearby kelp forest to grab a seed cluster. I crafted the lubricant and I immediately made my moonpool. In order to power my base, I added 2 solar panels on the top of the moonpool. Even though it's only a few meters away from the life pod, I built my base right in this crevice. I think it looks super cool whenever you drive up the sea moth to dock it. The only thing left to do was to get my vehicle upgrade console. It took a few minutes to get what I needed, but it went by pretty quick. Sometimes with the way the base construction works, I have a hard time figuring out where to place my console, but this time I just decided to plop it down wherever. I pinned the 2 modules I wanted to make, the depth module 1 and the radar module, then I got to work. The depth module only required some titanium and glass, so I got it pretty quick, but the radar would take a little bit more work. After equipping the module, I decided to head out to the mushroom caverns. This location contains a lot of magnetite, which I will need for the sea moth radar. There are also several Degassi bases I wanted to go to. Without the depth module, this biome would be inaccessible to me. Even so, it's not very difficult to find. All that you need to do is locate Life Pod 17 and you'll see the entrance to the caves. Shortly after arriving, I was able to find all the magnetite that I needed. But I wasn't done down here just yet. For one, this location has a lot of really good loot, not just in the form of minerals, but also fragments at the Degassi base. I had to look around for a little bit, but this biome isn't that large, so I was able to find it pretty quickly. I won't lie to you, I was pretty uncomfortable with the idea of going into this base. The crab snakes combined with the stinging jellies can make for a deadly combo. In previous playthroughs, this location has almost killed me several times, and now I'm in hardcore, so the stakes are much higher. But in the never-ending pursuit of sweet game progression, I took the plunge. I was able to acquire high-end upgrades like the multi-purpose room, glass dome, and water filtration machine. I also got some smaller upgrades like the basic bed and the wall planter. Do you remember a few seconds ago when I told you this base can be a playthrough ender? This is exactly why. When I went to leave the base, I barely grazed one of the jellies. It instantly took me down to half health, and if I'd stayed there any longer, I would have died. Once my near-death experience was over and I finished freaking out, I grabbed a few more fragments including the nuclear reactor, power cell charger, and the observatory. At this point, I got pretty much everything I could from this biome, and after my jelly scare, I wasn't really keen to stick around. It was closing in on the end of the hour, so I decided to get back to base and work a little bit more before the time was up. The second I got back, I made the Seamoth radar. This is my favorite Seamoth upgrade, but I don't end up using it in this video. I decided to use my remaining time to work more on my base. I added a window to the moonpool, a locker, fabricator, and a battery charger by the vehicle upgrade console. I knew my moonpool wouldn't have enough space for all my stuff, so I started to work on an expansion. I added a glass corridor that connected to a circular room, which fulfilled the requirements for the third and final goal. I reinforced the back of the room. This is something I like to do early on in my playthroughs because I constantly forget about it and later my bases always flood. After this, I had some leftover materials, so I decided to build a scanner room. This base piece is a total sleeper pick, and the first time I played the game, I never used it once. It basically gives you wall hacks, and it helps you find everything from fragments to materials much faster. These days, I usually try and have one in each biome. And it was just in the nick of time, because right after I placed the scanner room, my time was up. I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you're a returning viewer, I hope you enjoyed it as much as the first. And if this is your first time seeing my Subnautica series and you enjoyed it, I encourage you to check out my other video as well. I felt a little bit of deja vu in this session because of how much I was able to accomplish within the hour. I was able to complete all 3 of my goals with plenty of time to spare. I think that for the next video, I need to aim for something a little bit more ambitious. So if you have any suggestions for what you think I should do next, please be sure to leave a comment. And with that, I'll leave you to it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.